My backyard used to make me cringe. Sparse grass, neglected flower beds, and absolutely nothing worth showing anyone. Then I stumbled upon several straightforward techniques that revolutionized my outdoor area. Today my garden is what visitors comment on first, constantly wondering how I achieved such results. Welcome to Ageless Gardeners, where we transform average yards into spectacular havens. If gardening strategies that reduce expenses while creating gorgeous spaces excite you, you've found your home. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell to catch every transformation tip we share. Let's dive in. Here are 10 techniques that converted my ordinary backyard into a genuine masterpiece and will work wonders for yours too. Tack number 1. The mirror wall illusion. This first technique revolutionized how my garden appears. Installing a garden mirror wall immediately doubled the perceived size of my space. Mounting affordable shatterproof mirrors onto a timber fence or wall created an incredible sense of depth while bouncing light into darker areas. Instantly my compact garden became luminous, open and spacious, as though I'd magically added significant square footage. For a natural appearance, I surrounded the mirrors with reclaimed wood pieces stained to complement my fence, allowing them to integrate perfectly into the surroundings. The outcome was breathtaking. Visitors repeatedly questioned whether my garden had expanded, never suspecting it was simply an ingenious optical technique. When climbing plants grow nearby, the magic intensifies because the mirrored foliage creates the impression of doubled plantings. Hack number 2. Raised edge garden borders. This second technique provided my garden with an immediate transformation. Constructing raised edge borders around my beds with budget-friendly bricks and salvaged timber completely altered my space's appearance. Rather than fading into the lawn, my flower beds now possess structure and clarity, resembling professional landscape architecture. The subtle elevation also highlighted my plants beautifully, giving each one its own miniature stage. This technique offers more than aesthetics. It's functional as well. The elevated edges maintain mulch precisely in position, prevent lawn from invading the beds, and simplify weeding considerably. It's a manageable weekend undertaking that produces a refined, systematic appearance while reducing garden maintenance time. The wonderful part is that budget-conscious or even reclaimed materials work perfectly, making it an economical method to achieve a premium garden appearance. Hack number 3. Living pathways. This third technique transformed my basic garden path into one of my yard's most delightful features. Rather than leaving stepping stones surrounded by exposed soil or ordinary gravel, I established creeping time between them. Each footstep releases a delightful fragrance while softening the severe appearance of a conventional pathway. Suddenly my garden achieved that enchanting cottage garden atmosphere that makes it absolutely inviting to explore. The wonderful aspect is that creeping thyme is resilient, drought-resistant, and naturally prevents weed growth, ensuring my path maintains a tidy appearance with minimal effort. If thyme doesn't appeal to you, consider moss or miniature chamomile for a verdant green aesthetic. This modest yet impactful technique adds texture, aroma, and character, immediately making your garden appear more deliberate and custom-crafted. Hack number 4. Solar spotlight drama. This fourth technique animated my garden once darkness fell. Installing solar-powered spotlights and positioning them beneath my cherished trees and shrubs created nighttime magic. After sunset, the garden becomes a glowing sanctuary, with gorgeous shadows and accents that resemble professional landscape architecture. The illumination adds dimension and theater, converting ordinary plants into sculptural attractions. What I appreciate most about this technique is its completely solar-driven nature, eliminating concerns about electrical wiring or increased utility bills. I arranged the lights to project upward, emphasizing the textures of leaves, bark and blossoms in an enchanting manner. This straightforward lighting enhancement immediately transformed my garden into an evening destination, whether I'm hosting friends or simply enjoying tea beneath the stars. Hack number 5. Color-themed plant zones. This fifth technique made my garden appear professionally orchestrated. I abandoned random planting and began organizing my flowers by color, establishing dedicated zones for each shade. One garden section features soothing purples and blues, Another showcases whites and creams, while another radiates warm yellows and oranges. This straightforward adjustment created stunning visual continuity, resembling a walk through different colored chambers. The brilliance of this technique is how it simplifies planting choices. Rather than questioning whether a new plant will conflict, you simply position it in its matching color section. The final result appears purposeful, sophisticated, and publication-ready. When visitors explore my garden, they frequently pause and appreciate its harmonious appearance, always expressing surprise when I explain it was merely a matter of color grouping plants. Hack number 6. Statement Pot Cluster. This 6th technique transformed my standard potted plants into a captivating centerpiece. Rather than distributing pots haphazardly throughout the yard, I consolidated them together to form a single dramatic cluster. By combining different pot dimensions, shapes and materials, terracotta, glazed ceramic, and several DIY painted ones, I generated an immediate focal point that captures attention upon garden entry. To provide the display elevation and dimension, I utilized bricks and inverted buckets as concealed risers, establishing a tiered arrangement. This made even the simplest plants appear deliberate and distinguished. This technique proves you don't require expensive plants to create a significant statement. You simply need to position them creatively in one location and allow them to flourish as a collective showcase. Hack number 7. Garden Edge Pebble Trench. This 7th technique provided my garden with a clean, refined border that immediately made it appear more organized. I excavated a shallow trench along my flower bed edges and filled it with pale-colored pebbles. This straightforward detail generated a beautiful contrast against the greenery and earth, resembling a picture frame around my entire garden. It made every bed appear intentional and gave the complete space a sharp designer atmosphere. This technique also provides a practical function. The pebble trench prevents mulch from spreading onto the lawn, enhances drainage during substantial rains, and discourages weeds from infiltrating the beds. It's among those modest changes that produces a tremendous reward, and it's remarkably simple to accomplish over a weekend with just several bags of decorative stones. Hack number 8. Vertical layering with shrubs. This 8th technique gave my garden that abundant, full appearance I'd always appreciated in professionally designed landscapes. Rather than maintaining everything low and level, I began layering my beds by positioning taller shrubs and ornamental grasses toward the rear, medium-height plants in the center, and shorter flowers and ground covers near the front. This established depth and dimension, making the garden feel immersive and considerably larger than its actual size. I also experimented with contrasting textures, combining spiky grasses with rounded shrubs, and blending foliage colors to make each layer distinctive. This layering approach made my garden appear thoughtfully designed, despite not adding a single additional square foot of planting area. It's a straightforward but powerful method to make your garden appear expensive and well-conceived. Hack number 9. Hidden Irrigation Beauty. This 9th technique made my garden maintain a perfectly tidy appearance constantly. I replaced the clutter of hoses and sprinklers with a straightforward DIY drip irrigation system that I concealed beneath the mulch. Now the water travels directly to my plant's roots, maintaining the surface looking pristine and polished. This invisible configuration makes the garden feel more professional and maintains everything evenly watered without me needing to maneuver a hose around. The finest part is how effortless it makes maintenance. My plants remain healthier, flower longer, and I conserve water because nothing is squandered. This technique is a transformation if you desire a garden that maintains beauty with reduced work, and it's a manageable weekend undertaking that doesn't require much to establish. Hack number 10. Natural Mulch Mosaic. This 10th technique transformed my garden's floor into an artistic creation. Rather than utilizing the identical mulch type everywhere, I experimented with establishing patterns using different natural materials. I applied bark mulch in one section, straw in another, and even crushed leaves for my pathways. This generated a distinctive mosaic effect that made the ground itself part of the design, attracting the eye and making the entire space feel intentional and imaginative. Beyond the beauty, This technique is incredibly functional. Different mulches provide different purposes. Bark retains moisture for thirsty plants. Straw insulates vegetable beds. And crushed leaves decompose to nourish the soil. The outcome is a garden floor that is not only visually stunning, but also perfectly customized to support plant vitality. It's an economical method to add personality, while improving your garden's overall performance. Before we conclude, I want to share several bonus maintenance tips that maintain my garden looking like a masterpiece throughout the season. One of my favorite tricks is conducting a quick 5-minute walkthrough every morning with a pair of small pruners. Removing spent blooms and yellowing leaves daily maintains plants looking fresh and encourages additional flowers to develop. I also replenish my mulch mid-season by adding a thin new layer. Not only does this maintain the beds looking tidy, but it also helps secure moisture during the warmest months. And here's a straightforward habit that creates a significant difference. I maintain a watering can near my back entrance. Every time I step outside, I provide a quick drink to any plant that appears thirsty. These small daily habits ensure my garden maintains beauty, with almost no major weekend transformations. And there you have it. 10 techniques that completely transformed how my garden looks and feels. When I initially began, my backyard was merely a patch of grass with several random plants that didn't create any real impact. But by incorporating mirror walls to generate the illusion of space, constructing raised borders for structure, layering plants for depth, and even concealing my irrigation system, I converted a plain outdoor space into something I'm genuinely proud to display. What I appreciate most is that none of these techniques required employing a landscaper or spending a fortune. They were straightforward, affordable changes that anyone can accomplish, whether you possess a sprawling yard or a compact urban garden. The beauty of these tips is that they don't just make your garden appear attractive for one season, they make it simpler to maintain, keep it healthy, and allow it to remain beautiful year after year. If you attempt even one of these ideas, you'll witness how much it elevates your space. Imagine stepping outside to a garden that feels like a personal sanctuary, where every corner appears intentional, where your flowers burst with color, and where the lighting makes it magical even at night. That's the transformation these techniques can provide you. And I desire that for every gardener who watches this channel. So if you found this video beneficial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend or neighbor who loves gardening, but doesn't know where to begin. And if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect moment. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I have more tips coming that will elevate your garden to the next level. From seasonal planning guides to DIY projects that will make your outdoor space feel like a designer's dream. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope you feel inspired to get outside and start transforming your own space. Remember, your garden doesn't need to be perfect to be beautiful. It just needs a little creativity and care. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, happy gardening from all of us at Ageless Gardeners.